Is your Mac really as secure as you think? Imagine losing it, with all your personal data at risk, financial info, passwords, private files. But it doesn't have to be that way. In this video, we're diving into 10 must-know macOS Sequoia security tips that will lock down your system and protect your data. You'll learn how to safeguard everything from your hard drive to your Wi-Fi settings, and we'll even discuss a few trade-offs to keep in mind. Let's get started with the first tip. Enable File Vault. File Vault encrypts your entire hard drive, so even if your Mac falls into the wrong hands, your data remains secure. There's a slight performance hit on older Macs, and the initial encryption process can take a while, but if you store sensitive information or travel frequently, it's a step you shouldn't skip. Setup. Go to System Settings, Privacy and Security at File Vault and turn it on. 2 and 3. Use a strong password and enable two-factor authentication, 2FA. Your password is your first line of defense. Creating a strong, complex one makes it nearly impossible for someone to break in. Yes, strong passwords can be harder to remember, but it's a small inconvenience compared to the security it provides, especially for critical accounts. Two-factor authentication adds an extra layer of security by requiring not just your password, but also a second verification step. It can be a bit annoying to enter a code every time you log in from a new device, but if you're someone who values extra protection for your Apple ID and other important accounts, it's a no-brainer. Setup. Go to System Settings, Apple ID, Password and Security, turn on 2FA. 4. Enable Firewall. Your Mac's built-in firewall blocks unauthorized network traffic, protecting your system from outside threats. While it can sometimes block legitimate connections, like apps trying to communicate over the network, it's essential if you frequently switch between public and private networks. Setup. Go to System Settings, Network a Firewall and turn it on. 5. Use secure Wi-Fi settings. A secure Wi-Fi connection protects your home network from unwanted intrusions. If your router supports WPA3 encryption, make sure it's enabled. It may require updating your router's firmware or making some advanced tweaks, but it's worth it for the added security, especially for home or work networks. Setup. Check out the link in this video description for setting up WPA3 encryption for your router. 6. Enable Find My Mac. If your Mac ever gets lost or stolen, Find My Mac lets you track it down, lock it, or even erase your data remotely. You'll need an internet connection to locate the device, but enabling this feature ahead of time could save you a lot of stress down the road. Setup. Go to System Settings, Apple ID, iCloud, Find My Mac and enable it. 7. Use Secure Notes. Need a place to safely store passwords, financial information, or other sensitive details? macOS lets you lock notes with a password, giving you peace of mind that only you can access that information. Just don't forget the password you set for those notes. Setup. Open the Notes app, create or select a note, and click the lock icon to set a password. 8. Manage app permissions. Many apps ask for access to data like your location, contacts, or microphone, even when they don't need it. Taking the time to review and limit these permissions can go a long way in protecting your privacy. Some apps may lose functionality, but it's important to control what kind of data they have access to. Setup. Go to System Settings, Privacy and Security, App Permissions and review the permissions for each app. 9. Regularly update macOS and apps. Keeping your macOS and apps up to date ensures you get the latest security patches. While some updates can bring along new bugs or compatibility issues with third-party apps, staying current with software updates is crucial to keeping hackers at bay. Set your system to update automatically, and you won't have to think twice about it. 10. Use a VPN. A VPN encrypts your internet connection, making it much harder for anyone to intercept your data while you're browsing online, especially on public Wi-Fi. Although it can slow down your connection, the extra privacy is worth it when you're out and about or want to stay anonymous online. With these 10 tips, you can turn your macOS Sequoia into a security powerhouse. From encrypting your drive to managing app permissions, each step strengthens your defense against online threats and data breaches. Which tip will you implement first? Let me know in the comments. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more tech tips and tricks.